Hello, it's meatball time. So, you're laughing. My kids love meatballs. I love meatballs. I think I make them best. Kids have been begging me to make meatballs for a couple weeks. So I said, okay, we're gonna do it. So we're gonna use San Marzano tomatoes, about 3 or 4 cans of those. We're gonna put them in the pan here in the bowl, hand crush them. We're gonna warm up some olive oil with some crushed garlic. So we're gonna make our sauce first, let that cook while we're making the meatballs and roll them down. I like mine meatballs with a little bit of surprise inside. The kids love it. I use fresh mozzarella to put in the middle of the meatballs. It's so hard to find buffalo mozzarella. If you can find it, that's the best to use. This time we're just gonna use regular. All right, so you get you some nice olive oil. We're gonna coat the bottom of the pan. Give it a little sprinkle, just a little bit. You want this on medium high, just to get it warmed up. Not too much olive oil, just enough to coat a little bit of the bottom of the pan. Then we're gonna take our garlic. So I like using the jumbo garlic. You're gonna wanna do about 3 or 4 of those bad boys, like we do with most starts. Smash the garlic. Peel should come right off. Okay, now I'm gonna trim the ends of the stem off because on this one I'm actually going to keep the garlic in there. Just gonna cut it up just a little bit. Put that in there. Let it warm up. You want to stir this. You're just going to brown the garlic. If you burn it, it's going to taste bitter. So keep that nice and going real nice and slow. Watch it. This is going to be the nice base. Once you come up to a good sizzle, bring it down to about medium heat. So, your garlic's golden brown. What I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna take a pinch of some salt, add that to the bottom of the pan or the pot, and you're gonna do a pinch of pepper. Stir that around. It's gonna give it a nice flavor on top of the garlic. I'm also gonna do some Italian seasoning. Got oregano, basil, some other things in there. If you don't like oregano, you don't have to put Italian seasoning in, but this is what I like to do. Cook that down a little bit. Got a nice base in there. Now, I'm going to add the tomatoes. So I'm gonna take this off heat, and we'll go from there. San Marzanos. And just put those in here. These are whole peeled tomatoes. Try to get all this. I'm gonna use a spatula and get all the rest of this. These are pretty expensive cans, so you wanna get as much out of it as you can. And then hands are washed, clean, trust me. I'm gonna take, and I like to squeeze them gently. Get that nice juice. You can put these, if you don't wanna do this, you can put these straight into the pot and then use a spoon to crush them, but it won't get it all done the right way. You'll be all right. Straight into the pot. I'll give this a rinse. No matter if it's extra water or not, rinse out the cans. I'm gonna rinse out the cans and add it all in here. But this is kind of what you want to do. You got it on medium-low. Stir it, give it a good stir. It's going to start smelling amazing here. But while this is cooking down, you can also, if you'd like, you can add fresh basil. I usually take a sprig or 2, add it whole into the pot here. But we'll let that cook down. So here's where the magic happens. Break it down for you. Right here. Get your nice pound of ground beef, pound of Italian sausage. If you want spicy, go with the spicy. If you want mild, go with the mild. Sweet, I go with the mild. You also want to do, you could add veal, so equal parts, beef, pork, veal. For this one, I'm just doing the beef and the pork. So right here also you've got a cup of breadcrumbs, Italian style breadcrumbs. You could use day-old bread and mix it up. I don't have any day-old bread around here, so we're just going to use Italian style breadcrumbs, about 1 cup. Here we've got 2 eggs. Then over here we've got about half a teaspoon of garlic powder, 2 teaspoons of salt, teaspoons of pepper, black pepper, and then you've got here your Parmesan cheese. I like to get my cheese from 4 Seafood Group. It's out of Brooklyn. It's amazing. Amazing shredded Parmesan cheese. Not shredded, but you know what I mean, grated. It's good stuff. So also, you want a sprig of basil and about a half cup of parsley. I like the fresh stuff, so I try to keep it on hand, ready to go. Half cup after you're gonna chop it, so you kind of have to eyeball it. What you think would be a half cup. I like to take my parsley and basil, like I've done in other videos, roll it. Seems to work the best. Roll it up. And it smells so good. That basil, the fresh parsley, it smells amazing. Okay, you're also gonna add, you can add a half cup of milk or whole milk. I don't use milk, I'm gonna use water on this one. Right in there. I'm gonna put all our cheese, black pepper, garlic powder, put it all in there. Everything's ready to go. And don't worry about it, get your hands in there and go. This is how it all goes down. You're gonna wanna mix this up until you get probably a consistent ball. It should all come together. Nothing should be stuck to the side of the bowl. Just gonna knead it in there. Mixtures come together. You wanna take your mozzarella. I like to cube it up. These are what the kids love. I'm gonna cut some cubes out of it. Go ahead and add the parsley. Don't have to wash it off. Kind of gives it some extra flavor. But cube it up. Nice square chunks, doesn't matter. About like yay. Set those aside. The rest we're gonna bag up, add a little water, save it for another day. Let's start rolling them. Warm up some olive oil, the bottom of a pan. This is for frying our meatballs. So we're gonna have it about medium high heat to bring it up real quick. And let's take a look here at the tomatoes. Looking nice, boiling down nice. I'm gonna give this a quick stir. Okay, so we've stirred our sauce. We've got the oil cooking up. Now we're going here to our meatball mixture. We'll start making these, but first, we're gonna add some things. We're gonna do some flour, egg wash, we'll do some breadcrumbs. Put a nice coating on the meatball. Basically gonna coat the whole thing like a snowball. Do this all the way around each one of them. What the breadcrumbs won't get to, the flour will. Nice even coats all the way around. Shake off any excess. Then you've got your egg wash. Just gonna run it through. turn it upside down, inside out, but show all the people what it's all about. Okay, roll it in your breadcrumbs. You can pour some on it. Even coats, even coats. Just like yay. That's gonna work, just like that. All right, so our meatballs are coated. Pan's going hot. You want to use metal tongs. Check out the sauce. Looking good, looking good. Give it a stir. Smells amazing. Lid on again halfway. And we're gonna take our meatballs, place them in there evenly. I'm gonna do about 2.5 minutes each side. Flip them over. If you need a little bit more done on the other side, go ahead. You want it to be brown. Let those bad boys go for about 2.5 minutes. You want these to have a nice, slow sizzle. Not too fast. You're not trying to sear these. So it's been about 2.5 minutes. As you can see right here, when the color starts coming up to about half of the meatball, that's when it's about time to turn it. See that, nice and golden. That's beautiful. Look at that. Oh yeah. Yeah. Nice and golden. It's not burnt, it's not black, not dark brown, just perfect and golden. Put that over, do about another 2.5 minutes here, and we'll be ready to drain it off. We're gonna add them right to the sauce we got going. So we didn't really cook them when we fried them in the olive oil, just browned them. They're gonna cook for about 2.5 hours, 3 hours here in the sauce. It's gonna soak up all that good sauce in there. Go ahead and give it a gentle stir. Make sure that they're all coated with the sauce if you can. I'm gonna bring that down to about medium simmer, medium heat, medium low. When I pick my basil, I go right below the last stem there. I'm gonna do a couple little sprigs. This one here is a good one. I'm gonna take your basil, put it right on top. Fresh basil. Just let it sit there and simmer down on its own. Cover about halfway. Let that go for about an hour. Give it a stir. Stir it about every 40 minutes, every hour, you'll be fine. At this point, you can take a spoonful out, taste it, salt and pepper it to taste. Pot's going. What you want to do when you got it to a boil is I salt it. Salt it just like the ocean. Get a lot of salt in there. I usually like the Tsp brand. We're going to use the square spaghetti on this one. But the Tsp, pretty good brand. The way I go, so the pasta doesn't stick to the bottom of the pan, I hold it in the middle a little bit. Stir it around, let it get softened up. Then let it fall all the way around. Couple minutes with the pasta. Toss, turn it around. 12 minutes is usually al dente with spaghetti. Don't want to add oil. A lot of people add oil. They think it stops it from sticking to the bottom of the pan, but it also stops it from sticking to the sauce that we've got going on. So no oil, just salt, water, the pasta water. If your sauce is really thick like this, you can add some of the pasta water. This pasta water's got good flavor in it. It tastes good, and it will lighten it up a little bit. All right, so you got your serving dish here. You're gonna put your spaghetti. Put the pasta in here first, and let's get this going first. Take my olive oil. Just want to drizzle just a little bit on the bottom of your serving dish. Get you a nice wedge of Parmesan or Reggiano, regular Parmesan. You want to shred that a little bit on the bottom. All right, I get asked a lot, Nate, how do you know when your pasta's done? Really easy. Take out some of your pasta. If you can pinch it easy, it's done. It's al dente. This one, it takes a little bit of effort. We'll let the rest of it go for a little bit. Pasta's going. Got our serving dish ready. Add a little bit of pepper in the bottom with your olive oil, Parmesan Reggiano. What I also do is I take a little bit of the sauce. Just put that on the bottom as well. Helps mix it up. It's thickened up a bit, but when we add the pasta water, it'll be all right. All right, I took the meatballs out, put them on their own serving dish. Put the Parmesan Reggiano on top. Now it's time to get the pasta out. A lot of people will strain their pasta. I don't do that. I like the flavor of the pasta water, and it helps, like I said, lighten the sauce up. So, take it out, let it strain a little bit, and right into the serving dish. Let it strain a bit. With olive oil on top. A pinch of pepper right on the top. And then your Parmesan Reggiano. And from here, this alone will be good. You can also do some carbonara and whatnot. That's a good little straight clean pasta dish right there. Kind of toss it. And now, we're pulling up some of the bottom of the sauce we already laid down. And we're gonna lay the rest of the sauce in there. I'm taking all this goodness that we cooked up earlier with the meatballs right on top. Oh, sweet mercy. That looks amazing. Right on top. Homemade. None of that out of the jar stuff. Beautiful. You can usually top it with some more cheese if you like at this point. But here you're just gonna blend in everything. Nice and thick. If it's too thick, go ahead and add some pasta water.